Hey everyone. So in today's video, we will be seeing what is deep learning. Let's look at the formal definition now. So it is a subfield of machine learning which is based on artificial neural networks. So the point is it is a subfield of machine learning, okay, which is based on artificial neural networks. That's fine. The entire process of learning happens using a network of nodes. The process of learning that we have already seen in the previous video, that how we actually find the mapping function. So this process of learning happens using a network of nodes. Now it's interesting that we will see what is this network and what are these nodes. Okay, but if we see this diagram, if we see AI, that is artificial intelligence, and let's suppose we think of AI as one set. So if AI is one set, machine learning is a subpart or maybe a subset of AI. Okay. Now if we think about deep learning, that is a subset or maybe a subfield of machine learning. What does that mean? That means that in machine learning, if we consider this portion as one set, inside machine learning, there could be multiple things apart from deep learning. But deep learning is just a subfield of machine learning where we use ANN, that is artificial neural networks. In the previous slide, we saw that the learning is based on a connected set of nodes, okay, a network of nodes. So let's see what is a neural network. The term neural, so if we say neural network, this is the first term neural, this is the second term network. So the term neural is used as it's inspired from neuroscience. So because it's inspired from neuroscience, this term neural is used. You can think of neural network as a network of connected nodes. Okay. So second term network, this network is there because we have several nodes and these nodes are connected together. So that's why it forms a network. So neural network, now we understand why the term neural network is used. Okay. So let's see a very simple neural network on the left hand side. In this network, we have an input layer, we have an hidden layer, and we have an output layer. Okay. Just for simplicity, currently I'm denoting this hidden layer with only one layer. Okay. But this hidden layer could be one layer, could be two layers, or could be multiple layers. So we can say any number of layers between this input layer and output layer would be considered as hidden layers. Okay. This is clear. In the input layer, we are giving some input to the network. This input is passed to a node of a network. There is some processing that would happen on the node, and after that, it is passed to the next layer of the network, and so on. And once it reaches the output layer, there is some processing happening at that layer, and after that, we get an output. Okay. So now we have seen a very simple neural network where we have one input layer, one hidden layer, and one output layer. Okay. Now let's look at on the right hand side. Just for more simplicity, we have an input layer which has only one node. So we are just passing one input here. We have one hidden layer, okay, and we have one output layer. This is fine. So we pass something to this node. We do some operations here. After that, we pass it to the next node. We do some operations here. As this is the output layer, we just provide whatever the output of this node, we provide it as an output from the total network. Now, as we have seen the network of nodes, it's very important to know what is a node. Okay, so let's consider a very simple example from the previous slide where we had an input layer, a hidden layer, and an output layer. Now, if we say node, this is a node. Okay, so let's look at this node. If we magnify this node, okay, after magnifying, what we are seeing, there are basically two operations being performed. First is denoted as a summation operation. The second is denoted as a function. That means a node, a single node in the network, it is doing two things. First, it's doing a summation operation. Okay. What do we do in a summation operation? That we would see in subsequent videos. But here we should know that there are two operations. First is the summation operation. Whatever the output of the summation operation, that we pass to a function, and whatever the output of this function, that we pass as an output of this node. Okay. For representing it, this node, I will be representing it like this. This summation is here, this function is here. So if we provide an input, now just for simplicity, we are providing only one single input here, but it could be several multiple inputs as well. Okay. So as soon as we provide an input, the first operation is summation operation. Okay. There is something happening here with summation. The output of the summation operation is passed to this function. Okay. After this function, whatever the output of the function, that is passed as an output of the node to the next layer. Okay. This output of the node to the next layer would be considered as an input of the next layer. Okay. So this is clear. So now we know what is a node and what is a node doing. So now let's look at what we learned. In the beginning, we saw that if we consider AI, that is artificial intelligence, as a big set, so machine learning is a subset of AI. Okay, this is clear. Now, if we consider ML as a set, then deep learning is a subset of machine learning. That means we would definitely have few more things in machine learning, but deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Okay, this is clear. Then we saw a very simple neural network architecture. That is, we have input layers, we have output layers, and in between. In between, that is any layer that is between the input layer and the output layer, we would consider it as a hidden layer. So we can have an input layer, output layer, and hidden layer. This is clear. After this, we saw what does this node represent. So we magnified it, and then we saw that node actually performs two operations. Okay. The first operation is a summation operation. Okay. What do we do in summation operation, that we will see later on. But the first operation, that is a summation operation. And the second is that we pass it to a function, and the output of the function would be considered as the output of the node. Okay. For that, we represented it in a very simple manner, that we are passing some inputs. This is the first operation. This is the second operation of the node, and this output is the output of the node. I hope whatever we covered in this video is clear. Now, deep learning is a big topic, and to understand deep learning properly, we would need several parts to understand it very clearly. Okay. So today we saw the overview of deep learning. What really happens, how the learning happens, that we will see in subsequent videos. Okay. If you have any doubts, there would be a doubt link in the description. You can post your doubts there.